What's up, Patriots?
Hello, Patriots.
This is Carrie.
And this is Joel.
And we are the Quiet Boys
of Truth.
All right, man, it's another gorgeous day.
Yep.
It's another gorgeous, crazy day. Still a lot going on out there. I hope everybody is still staying safe. Quick shout out to our new subscribers.
Yeah.
Woohoo! We're almost at 80, guys.
Welcome aboard.
Yeah, thanks for sending some folks our way. Keep on doing it, guys. We're going to get to 100 soon.
Absolutely.
Shout out to all you subscribers, all of our Patriot friends and family.
Mm-hmm.
We love you guys, and you are the reason that we're here.
Yes, and we are going to jump into the June 4th Q post. This might be a long one, so buckle up.
We might only get to half of them.
Maybe. Post 4401 dropped 4th of June 2020 at 10:51 a.m. Black Lives Matter only during election years. Democrats' way to manipulate the black vote. Q asks, do you see a pattern? Well, let's look at that little graphic there.
Oh yeah, looks like it's Google Trends.
Okay, so that little graphic shows us that Black Lives mattered in the summer of 2016, right before the 2016 election.
Go
and then
figure.
They mattered again right now before the 2020 election. But you see that flat blue line in between there with just a few little bumps? Yeah, that's when it didn't matter.
Black lives don't matter
during those
times.
So,
you know what, guys? That's because
wake up.
Black Lives Matter is a made-up narrative.
And all lives matter all the time.
Exactly.
How dare you?
Oh my. All right, post 4402, June 4th, 11:01 a.m. Soros, Trump will disappear in 2020 or even sooner. The heck does that mean?
I
that sounds like a straight up
sounds like a threat. Yeah.
Dude.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Q says demons continue to serve the devil in his attempt to lead the world away from God and into sin. Jeez, that's heavy.
Mm-hmm. Check out that Twitter account.
All right, guys, I'm pretty sure we're looking at one of the demons Q was referring to. This tweet comes from Mike Yoder at Yoder_ESQQ. Trump will disappear in 2020 or even sooner. Wake up, America. Let's listen to the demon.
I consider the Trump administration a danger to the world, but I regard it as a purely temporary phenomenon that will disappear in 2020 or even sooner.
When he says danger to the world, I'm sure what he means is danger to the pedo elite network of freaking
sicko nasty
to the okay.
Post 4403 dropped 4th of June 2020 at 11:59 a.m. They want to breach the White House and capture a horrifying moment for optics. Goal. That's their goal. Mm-hmm. All right, we've got a graphic here of a bunch of Trump's tweets. Let's take a look at those. So our president, Donald Trump, tweets out, "Great job last night at the White House by the U.S. Secret Service. They were not only totally professional, but very cool. I was inside, watched every move, and couldn't have felt more safe. They let the protesters scream and rant as much as they wanted, but whenever someone got too frisky or out of line, they would quickly come down on them, hard. Didn't know what hit them. The front line was replaced with fresh agents like magic. Big crowd, professionally organized, but nobody came close to breaching the fence. If they had, they would have been greeted with the most vicious dogs, the most ominous weapons I have ever seen. That's when people would have been really badly hurt, at least. Many Secret Service agents just waiting for action. We put the young ones on the front line, sir. They love it and good practice. As you saw last night, they were very cool and very professional. Never let it get out of hand. Thank you. On the bad side, the DC mayor, Muriel Bowser, she might as well be Bowser from like Super Mario Bros., who's always looking for money and help, wouldn't let the DC police get involved. Not their job. Nice.
Right.
Yeah.
What is their job exactly then? Isn't it to protect and serve?
Well, we're watching these guys expose how criminal they really are.
For sure.
We're coming for you, King Koopa. All right, so this tweet comes from the Hill. We got a video here of Muriel Bowser talking a bunch of malarkey.
Talking about wanting people to be able to access the White House from all sides.
Yeah, at this time, are you freaking out of your mind, you dill hole?
By the way, it's inhabitants, not inhibitants.
I just had that conversation with some of my team. And I'm one of those people who grew up in Washington, D.C., and has been very accustomed to being able to have access to all of our federal facilities.
But what about when you have maniacs outside the White House, you idiot?
Right, yeah, this is exactly the time to take the fence down around the White House.
From being able to walk all around the Supreme Court, to walk in front of the White House, on both sides. And now all of that is under threat.
Why do you think that is? Are you that stupid? I cannot believe this.
Oh my
may be not just temporary. And so we would also have to push back from that. So keep in mind that that's the people's house. It's a sad commentary that the House and its inhabitants have to be walled off. I think that's a sad commentary. We should want the White House to be opened up. For people to be able to access it from all sides. And I dare say that looking at traffic management permanently is also important.
Whatever.
Yeah, cool story, dummy. Tell it again.
You're an inhibitant.
Yeah, you're an inhibitant.
How dare you?
What happens if a breach occurs at White House? Attempts coordinated to capture a horrifying moment? What happens then? Heavy protect White House? Previous?
I think it's previous.
POTUS warning meant to push rational thought. Peaceful protesters. Previous coordinated anarchist. Anarchy 99. Push to victory. White House breach. Q. Let's take a look at that dictionary. Alright, and here we're linked to the definition of
Goal.
And it says, the result or achievement toward which effort is directed, aim, end.
What was that word
Terminal
again?
point in a race. That word was
Goal.
What is
So-
there
Goal.
to reach the White House?
Yeah.
Is that there?
Goal.
Yes, it is. Okay, let's move on.
Okay, on to post 4404, June 4th. That's a lot of fours.
Yes,
At
it is.
1:16 p.m. D.C. mayor lifts curfew. Pelosi doesn't want military in D.C. D's want to control Insurrection Act. Okay, so the first thing we have here is a tweet, and then we've got an article from The Hill. And Q says, important to understand what happens if a breach occurs at White House. Attempts coordinated to capture a horrifying moment.
Goal.
Okay, so we'll check out the tweet first, and then we'll take a look at the article. All right, this tweet comes from WMAL News. Just in, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser says there will not be a curfew in the district tonight as protests over the death of George Floyd are expected to continue. D.C. police say no arrests were made last night as demonstrations were peaceful. Okay. Okay, this Hill article is from June 4th, 2020. Pelosi demands clarify deployment of unidentified law enforcement in D.C. Speaker Nancy Pelosi on Thursday demanded that President Trump provide a list of the agencies involved in deploying law enforcement officers around Washington, D.C. in response to the crowds of demonstrators protesting police brutality. Some officers policing protests in the city in recent days have been seen without any identifying labels on their uniforms, raising questions about which law enforcement agencies they represent. In a letter to Trump, Pelosi wrote that we are concerned about the increased militarization and lack of clarity that may increase chaos. I am writing to request a full list of the agencies involved and clarifications of the roles and responsibilities of the troops and federal law enforcement resources operating in the city. Congress and the American people need to know who is in charge, what is the chain of command, what is the mission, and by what authority is the National Guard from other states operating in the Capitol, Pelosi wrote.
So we'll link this one in the description for you guys to go check out for yourself.
Yeah, for
But,
sure.
you know, it's just basically they're exposing what their goal is.
Goal. And Q says it again. What happens then? Heavy protect White House. Previous POTUS warning meant to push rational thought, peaceful protesters.
Oh, I think that is prevent.
Oh. What happens then? Heavy protect White House. Prevent? Maybe? I think we said
Yeah, I think you said previous.
Previous.
before, I think it might be
Previously.
prevent.
But, yeah, probably prevent. POTUS warning meant to push rational thought, peaceful protesters, prevent coordinated anarchist, Anarchy 99, push to victory, White House breach. Hey, Joel,
Yeah.
what is their
Goal. Their goal is to get in the White House and capture some terrifying moment with their little GoPros and whatnot.
That's the goal, Joel.
But, you know, if they would have breached it, oh man, that would have been a bad day for them.
Bad day indeed.
Post 4405 dropped 4th of June 2020 at 1:21 p.m. Democrats are supporting the riots in their city and purposefully weakening police forces. We have a graphic here, and it says, updated list of major cities in the headlines with major riot activity, so-called protesters. Minneapolis Democratic Mayor Jacob Frey, Cincinnati Democratic Mayor John Cranley, Atlanta Democratic Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms. Okay. Columbus Democratic
Why
Mayor.
is Keisha not like uppercase K?
I don't know, but it's funny that Bottoms is down
Keisha
below
Lance
on the bottom.
Bottoms.
Columbus Democratic Mayor Andrew Ginther, Oakland Democratic Mayor Libby Schaaf, San Jose Democratic Mayor Sam Liccardo, Seattle Democratic Mayor Jenny Durkin, Denver Democratic Mayor Michael Hancock, New York City Democratic Mayor Bill de Blasio. His daughter is in, no wait, sorry, is it his daughter? I think his daughter
Is what?
is nuttier than a squirrel turd. Washington, D.C. Democrat Mayor Muriel Bowser. It's me, Mario. Los Angeles Democratic Mayor Eric Garcetti. Phoenix Democratic Mayor Kate Gallego. Or it could be Gallego.
Gallego.
Dallas Democratic Mayor Eric Johnson. Louisville Democratic Mayor Greg Fisher. Memphis Democratic Mayor Jim Strickland. Houston Democratic Mayor Sylvester Turner. Richmond Democratic Mayor LeVar Stoney. Fort Wayne Democratic Mayor Tom Henry. St. Paul Democratic Mayor Melvin Carter. Bakersfield Republican Mayor Karen Go.
Oh man, I was just about to ask what they all had in common, and then you went ahead and said Republican mayor. What the heck, man?
Q says, important to understand. Let's look at that article. Okay, Patriots, this article comes from thedeadline.com. Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti, city officials cutting $100 million to $150 million from the LAPD budget. Funds to be reinvested in communities of color.
Yeah, right.
Well, I'm
Yeah,
not
right.
going to read this article, but we will link it in the description. All I have to say is,
How dare you?
Yeah, that title says it all, guys.
Yeah.
And you know that money's not really going to be invested in communities of color.
No.
It's going to be lining the pockets of all of these Democratic,
buttholes.
yeah, these Democratic buttholes. Not that all Democrats are buttholes. That's
Right,
not what
but
I'm
these
saying.
ones are.
All right, post 4406, we have a repost of information warfare from November 20th, 2019. All assets, foreign and domestic, being deployed. Some who once supported POTUS, sleepers, have or will turn puppets and puppet masters. Control of narrative equals control of public opinion. Control of public opinion equals power. Everything is at stake. Old guard power structure being destroyed. Washington Civil War. Control the narrative. Prevent exposure of truth. Self-preservation. Fighting for survival. Information warfare. Cute.
Yep, we're seeing it happen right now, guys.
Right now, yeah.
Post 4407 dropped 4th of June 2020 at 1:39 p.m. Minneapolis City Council members consider disbanding the police. Bad move. Q says, important to understand, only at the precipice, moment of destruction, will people find the will to change. Let's take a look at that article. Minneapolis City Council members consider disbanding the police. If you've been tuned into the Minneapolis public safety scene, you know that for years, Reclaim the Block and other grassroots community groups have been asking the city to do one thing: stop investing in policing.
Now, why would they want to do that?
I don't know. Budget meeting after budget meeting, they turn out with their petitions and signs demanding the city put less money into its police department and more money into programs that stop crimes from happening in the first place. Affordable housing, addiction counseling, violence prevention programs. The council's been listening. I think we've had a vision for a while of wanting to see another kind of city response to those 911 calls, says council member Steve Fletcher, whose Ward 3 covers parts of downtown. Calls about mental health crisis could be answered by mental health professionals. Calls about opioid abuse could be answered by addiction experts. Instead, both get cops, usually armed. Well, duh. It's one thing to think that that's a good idea and another to get it done. The city has struggled to put any of these reforms into place in a substantial way, Fletcher says. Then George Floyd was killed by Minneapolis police. Now the council members are listening to a city that is wounded, angry, fed up with decades of violence disproportionately visited upon black and brown residents. Various private and public bodies from First Avenue to Minneapolis public schools have essentially cut ties with the police department. Council members are trying to figure out what their next move is. Well, I'm sure burning down the city is one way to start it, right, you dummies? Anyway, we'll link this in the description for you guys to go read for yourselves. But disbanding our police, defunding the police is probably the worst idea in the world.
I get like what they're saying, like what the grassroots guys are saying, you know, that they definitely need to be investing money in violence prevention and all of that stuff. But the corruption in this city is so deep that none of that money is going where it's supposed to be going, and they're going to need a lot of help.
Right, and I can also see the part where they're talking about. Wait, no, they didn't talk about it, but I can see the part where it's absolutely stupid.
And silence contagious in moments like these.
What?
I'm sorry, but every time Q keeps saying Precipice, it reminds me of the song.
Oh.
By Fish.
Okay.
You know, any Fish fans out there? They'll get it. Post 4408, June 4th, 1:48 p.m. We are in the middle of another Enlightenment approaching the precipice. Okay.
That word is actually Precipice.
It's not Precipice.
Oh, I'm thinking of something else. As you were.
And silence contagious in moments like these. Consume me and strengthen my will to appease. Okay. We're gonna have to do a lot of editing on this one.
Yep.
Okay, so we have an article here, guys, and it's talking all about the Enlightenment. I'm just going to read what it says here, and then I'll leave the link for you in the description. So the Enlightenment is often associated with its political revolutions and ideals, especially the French Revolution of 1789. The energy created and expressed by the intellectual foment?
Yeah, they're fomenting.
The intellectual foment.
Not fermenting.
Of Enlightenment thinkers contributes to the growing wave of social unrest in France in the 18th century. The social unrest comes to a head in the violent political upheaval which sweeps away the traditionally and hierarchically structured ancient regime, the monarchy, the privileges of the nobility, the political power of the Catholic Church. The French revolutionaries meant to establish in place of the... It keeps saying ancient. Ancient.
That word is ancient.
Ancient regime. A new reason-based order instituting the Enlightenment ideals of liberty and equality. Enlightenment with the process of undertaking to think for oneself, to employ and rely on one's own intellectual capacities in determining what to believe and how to act.
Right. And there's a link to an article there, guys. And we will put it in the description because it is very long.
Very long.
And you can check it out.
All about the Enlightenment.
Post 4409 dropped 4th of June 2020 at 2:45 p.m. The Lancet study used by the World Health Organization to stop HCQ trials has been retracted. When media and Democratic elected officials coordinate, knowingly attempt to prevent a medically verifiable prevention regarding COVID-19, prevention of death, we enter a state of crisis. When Democratic elected officials coordinate, knowingly push COVID-19 positive elderly patients into nursing homes, hotspots, most at risk, we enter a state of crisis. Your life means nothing to them. Sheep. You are a vote when it matters and a $sign when it does not. Q. Let's go check out that Twitter account. Okay, so this tweet comes from Jeremy Faust, MD, MS, at Jeremy Faust. In an important moment for science and data transparency, The Lancet announces that its 96,000 observational study on hydroxychloroquine has been retracted. A sad story, but an important one.
This article is crazy, guys. Basically, they falsified the data. That is the gist of this article, that they could not confirm that the data was accurate.
Yeah. Pretty crazy. But we will link this in the description for you guys to check out for yourselves.
All right, post 4410, June 4th, 2020, 2:49 p.m. Operators are standing by. Photo of Bill Clinton with Bible. So, yeah.
Yeah, where's all the phone calls saying that Bill Clinton is Hitler?
For real.
Where's all the Photoshop pictures of
Let's
him
make one.
being Hitler? Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
We might make one.
Oh, it could happen. Watch out for that meme.
But, are you going to use his hand?
Oh, heck yes I am. I mean, if they can do it. Jeez.
You could probably do it a lot better.
Oh, I know I could.
All right, guys. Yeah.
So, we're going to end this one here, guys. We're halfway through the June 4th Q posts. There was
if
a
we keep
lot of them.
going, it's going to be way too long.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
But yeah, we will end it there. And guys, yeah, thank you to our new subscribers. Thanks for jumping on board. We really appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you to all our subscribers, because I
And,
feel like you guys are the ones sending people our way.
You
So
guys
thanks.
are awesome. We appreciate you so much. And if you're new, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, toggle the little notification bell so you're notified when we put out new videos.
For sure.
And did you have anything to say, Greta?
I should be back in school on the other side of the ocean.
Okay. Anything else?
How dare you?
So, yeah. Don't forget, Patriots. Where we go one, we go on.